Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. For this video, I'm just jumping in really quickly to give you a little bit of an update and a little motivation. Yay. Now, I have Dottie and my newest joyful plant, Veronica, with us today. Now, you might be wondering, why are you showing your plants? Well, because Veronica is going to be a really great example of the message that I'm going to tell you today. Okay. And by the way, don't look too much because I'm in the middle of cleaning my home and I just needed to get this message out. And you're over here. But if I look over there, that's because I'm looking at the screen. Anyway, so first of all, happy eclipse time, happy equinox time, happy other eclipse time, happy Mercury retrograde time, happy Venus retrograde time. We out here. Happy whatever. And on top of that, if you're a birthday buddy, if your birthday falls in March because you're awesome, or if it falls in April because you're an Aries, then happy birthday. And, I'm your fellow birthday buddy. So I don't know about you, but if that's also you, then this is also a very big time for you because it's just adding another major thing, that being your yearly, cycle starting over again. All right, so let's jump into the message. So something I wanted to let you guys know is that if you follow my channel, then you know it's very important to be mindful of incoming energy. So when I say incoming energy, I mean being able to spot in the non-physical field what is already occurring before it's made physical. Now, always remember, and if you also follow this channel, thanks again, you understand that what we see in the physical is not well, from the highest perspective, it's not real. We're in the dream, we're in the separation state, which in and of itself is not real. But we're not going to read that highly in the field, so we're going to come down a little bit. And instead of saying nothing's real, which is the reality, I'm going to be in this state of this level of perception. And I'm going to let you know that what you see in the physical is not the now moment. It is just a manifestation of a now moment that has already passed. You also may recognize that anything that you feel and you experience and you bump up against in your life, not only is it not reality, but and not only is it not the now moment, but because it's not the now moment, it's not a moment for creation. The only moment of creation is in the now moment. And if you want to push it a little bit further, it's in the here and now moment. There's no out there, there's none of that. So even though we do currently live and experience this plane of existence, this physical plane, and we're, aligned with a lot of the physics, if you understand the reality of what's going on, then you will find that you're nowhere near as trapped in whatever your life is showing, whatever is being shown around you. You're just nowhere near as trapped. Now, the reason why I want to bring this idea to your attention is that usually, because of the physical plane, what we think and believe and all of that in the now moment, which is non-physical, takes time to manifest in the physical. Now, pro tip, if you are looking to master that kind of alignment and understanding and openness and connection with the now moment for you, the creationary moment for you, that non-physical moment for you, then you understand that you don't waste time in what you see because that's a past moment already. And let me think, how can I explain what I want to say a little bit more concretely? And so the pro tip is you can start to time your manifestations. So for example, me, even when I'm in my lowest of lows, as my guides call it, you're one of your episodes. It's not dismissive. It's anyway, they're awesome. But when I'm in my low self-worth, my sluggish feelings, I don't know how to do this, I can't do this, look at my bank account, look at this and that. And when I'm in that moment, I'm vibrating at a low frequency. because my mood is low. Think Eeyore, even he speaks slowly and he's da da da, right? When I'm getting into that mode, I notice that my manifestations take longer. My average is about 2 weeks. For example, if I say, okay, I'm going to, this is just an example. If I say I'm going to go start looking for a new job and we put some feelers out. And this is a great example because some of you may be doing that already or have gone through this. Now, if my mood is very low and my frequency is low, then what happens is that I'll have a lot of resistance if I don't feel like doing it, if I have low self-worth, if I'm buying into ideas like, oh, the job market right now, and my cousin said that this, and look at this then, and then the news is saying that then. If I'm getting all that in, I'm the sovereign co-creator of my life and what I'm choosing, because whatever falls on my desk, whatever I choose to adopt is what I put forward for myself. Doesn't matter, even if we have a shared idea of what we believe is true, whatever I co-sign is what comes through for me. So if I let all of that affect me and I start feeling down and I get swept away in what I think I'm seeing in the world and all of this, it just takes longer for the now moment to produce in the physical what it is that I say that I would like. Number one. Number two, if I keep stamping every now moment with my low self ideas and low self-worth and this and that and that and this, all I'm doing is on an assembly line sending it out into the universe. Lack, 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 lack. And that is what over time is going to come back to me in the form of whatever. Could be in the form of a new relationship that's platonic. It could be in the form of a romantic relationship. My lack can show up in the supermarket I end up turning into instead of that one because I felt like going to this one instead of that one. You know, these are the choices that end up being effects of the mindset. Remember, the mindset is what's important. So if you have a lack mindset, poverty conscious mindset, martyrdom mindset, victimhood mindset, woe is me, the place is bleak. If you buy into sociocultural programming that is low vibration, if you're thinking divisiveness instead of integration, whatever you're doing, if you're going here and dropping your vibration, you are actively in your own now moment creating a world for yourself where your choices and your feelings and your thoughts all reflect that. Because you're a sweet little builder. You're a builder. If your name's Bob, you're literally Bob the builder. You know, what world would you like to make for yourself? Whatever you believe is what you will think, is what you will feel. And because it's just going through your down in dimension, because you're having those beliefs here, and it crystallizes until it is solid matter. That's what you're doing. So whatever your mindset is literally the ultimate confirmation bias. So we talk about that a bit in the weekly posts. You can only post so much in those weekly posts because there's like a limit, but yeah, so that's the confirmation bias. As you believe, so will you think, so will you feel, so will you manifest, so will you engage and experience, engage with, and so will you, without mindfulness, make a conclusion about it. So if you are seeing a lot of attack and all sorts of nightmares out in the world and just whatnot, it may be hard to understand if you don't necessarily work with energy or you're just, you know, just not there yet, but just trust your girl. Trust your girl. You guys know me. If you've had sessions with me, you know, we go 100%. We just let you know what it is. And I have no skin in the game. I don't benefit either way. So just letting you know, whatever it is that you believe is what you will make for yourself. And so, yeah, we know that. We get it. And I've noticed, going back to what I was saying not too long ago, my average time is about 2 weeks. So if I'm kicking and screaming to do a certain task that's in my highest interest, I'm just using this as an example, let's say to look for a new job or something like that, or get my career going in some other direction. If I'm kicking and screaming, I don't feel like doing it, I'm sitting down, I'm stressing myself, and I'm beating the drum of all of these negative thoughts and negative stuff, all I'm doing as a sovereign being is programming my field. If you want to think in terms of religion, you're asking the Lord to make it so. If you want to think in terms of computers, you are programming your field, the matrix, that you see your own matrix into whatever you want to make that look like. And it usually reflects the age that we're in. We're in an information age now, we're in a technology age now. You can wrap it in that language, but long story short, the buck starts and stops with you. And usually there's a nice little delay in that process between a non-physical now moment and what you keep putting onto it by your focus, by your beliefs, by your moods. Now, when we go higher up in the field, we observe these moments as choices. So agency and responsibility, personal responsibility, comes more into the picture, a lot more into the picture, when you evolve yourself to higher states of awareness, meaning when your perspective grows enough to encompass more than just the self and my gender and my age and my culture and my religion. Like when you go wider, you open up yourself, your consciousness, to more of what actually is. But of course, what you actually are is so big that it will blow apart your body if you try to bring it in and download it, right? And so we see that with a lot of people who delve into practices or things that they're not aware of as yet, and they don't have the discipline to engage with, or just whatnot. And so it kind of can make them go crazy, or it will be such a quick shift that it changes the matter in their life. And anyway, that's the physicality in their life, and that's a whole nother story. But the point I'm trying to say in this one take, sorry guys, one take, Mercury and Pisces, we going for the whole narrative all over the shop. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is, on the average, but it's always the now moment is non-physical. That's where you're creating by way of your vibration. If you have a vibration of love and it's stronger than your vibration of fear and programming and stuff, then what you produce, what you materialize, will be something that is in that frequency. If it is the opposite, for whatever reason, you're having a bad day, you just had a fight, you've got trauma that you haven't looked at, whatever, you are producing still, because we're going to make and create. That's what we are. We're creator beings. But the vibration of what you're making is going to be very low, and it's going to be fear-based, and it's going to take you in different directions. At this time, though, and this is what I really came on to say in a very roundabout way, you really have to be mindful of what is going on inside. Now, the lunar eclipse that just passed gave us the gift of showing us, it's literally reflecting back to us what is going on inside. So if you've been having a lot of nightmares in your life, like, oh, this happened and that happened and this person left and I thought this, but that, or I don't know who I am anymore, whatever it is, the brand that is for you, you may feel like you're cursed, or you may see other people going through things and you're like, oh my God, for them. I don't like that for them. I don't like that for them. But remember, those are blessings, because it's showing us and showing them and showing us through them sometimes what it is that's going on in your field. But because the energy is so potent right now, it's like, boom, flat out, especially around full moons. And you had a full moon lunar eclipse, like, oh, so yeah, a lot. It was a lot for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people, because I'm seeing some things. But what have we been saying? We look and we just make one determination: I like it, or I know like it. That's it. Is this something that I would like to have continue to be my reality moving forward? If the answer is no, and you would prefer another reality, another physicalization, another materialization, whatever you want to use, another crystallization, another solidification, then I would adjust my focus. That's it. Adjust your focus. Yes, I know I get triggered. Then give me an example. When I look at my bank account, it gets me triggered because when I look at it, It makes me think this, that, and that about myself, and I'm never going to do what. Guess what? Don't look at your bank account. If you're not disciplined enough to look at your bank account and keep it 100 and say, oh, shoot. So that's what I was vibrating at a couple, like let's say 2 weeks ago or whatever weeks ago, because I'm looking at my bank account now in my physical life, but that's just a reflection of a past now moment. If you use your now, your physical reality to look at it and then get upset about it and cry about it, you're literally breaking your own heart for no reason. Because the now moment is a neutral moment. There's nothing going on in every now moment, every now moment, every now moment, unless you choose by way of your focus and the beliefs that you have about yourself and the world that you see, you're choosing to make that be boom, a reality in a now moment. And as each now moment is like a frame, in a movie, it's just moving past. You're going to have the false idea of linearity, of continuity. That's not the case, right? Whatever you believe in every now moment is what is going to come right back to you, because everything is you. Now, again, pro tip, start practicing. Let's say if you practice, okay, if I really love this thing that I'm doing, I'm just gonna really focus on seeing only the positivity about that and just be excited and really give in. And if something pops up that makes me sad or whatever, I see it, I observe it, I look at what comes up for me, and then I keep pushing, because I realize that whatever comes up to me in my physical moment is not for me to sit and dwell on. It's just to answer a quick question. How does it make me feel? If it makes me feel joyful, then well, I'm going to continue on what I'm doing. If it doesn't, then I'm going to look for where the mistaken reasoning is there, let it go. Now, that's a homework in and of itself, but it's the practice, right? But at this time, the veil is so thin that what, in my case, for example, would usually take a 2-week manifestation, me plodding along, doing this task I hate, and then boom, oh, finally it starts to kick off in 2 weeks when somebody bites back in my job applications. I get an interview request, or wow, 2 weeks later, right? For me, I've noticed, again, my time span is usually about 2 weeks. Whatever it is for you, work with that. Keep your vibes high. Do your best to give each now moment attention and high vibrational feelings that you would like to see reflected back to you, because you're just going to get it back to you anyway. But right now, I noticed that it's not 2 weeks. It's literally immediately. And this is what I mean about being able to work with and identify incoming energy. So when I come to give these readings for you guys, it's just me reading the energy. And what that is me remembering that whatever I see in the physical is not now. And that's why when I start the readings and whatnot, I can feel all of you watching. I can feel your emotions, your energies, and I know what to talk about for you. And that's also why and I'm reading your now moments, right? And so that's why if you see something in a video, I don't want a divination video, I don't know, or energy reading video, tarot reading, whatever it is that you guys look at, if it doesn't make you feel good, pro tip, oh, hold on. That's not something I want to have continue on for me. And I'm so thankful that this reader caught it either before it's manifesting for me, because it's on its way and it's incoming energy, I could tweak it or let it go altogether, and then whatever was taking shape will fall apart, right? Or it'll be the case where, wow, she's really reading for me and things that I can definitely recognize already in my physical world. If I don't want any more of that, then I take my attention off of whatever that is. You don't want conflict in your life. A lot of people watch the news. A lot of people hear what's going on with their neighbors. A lot of people, whatever. We get it. But and we have the idea that it's outside of us because we're experiencing it outside of us. Some of you are experiencing it so outside of you, you think it's happening to other people. But then when you come gently into our energy reading session, we see right there, boom, that's a conflict that's inside of you, and it's in this part of your body, and you are going to experience it in your physical world in A, B, C, D, E. And that's when the person's like, oh, okay, I am seeing this. And when they really start to work on that and those things fall away, those structures inside of their energy field that they're building through their attention, focus, and belief systems, very much unconsciously sometimes, until it's brought to their attention, right? um, when they start to work on that and they start to release their focus on those things, what do they lose interest in? What falls out of their physical reality? If you really want to get rid of somebody, stop focusing on them, and they can't see you. They literally don't exist in your vibration anymore. And I know a lot of people who hear these kinds of things will be like, but what they don't realize is they are in such a space of um what can I say, resistance on the inside, that it's not going to be, no matter how they try, it's not going to be real for them unless they do what? They get inside and they start looking at that resistance. Now, a quick example, two examples, and what, two examples? Maybe one example. I don't know. One example, oh, reading incoming energy. So I know my turnaround time is about 2 weeks for manifestations occur for me. And when I'm really in the vibes, oh, it's much quicker. But I woke up this morning and there were 3 instances, 2 of which I can't remember anymore because I just noticed it. But one I remembered and wanted to jump on here and let you guys know. I mean, I remember. I went online to look at YouTube, and I saw this cute short, and it was, I think his name is it Andrew the Gardener? Andre the Gardener? Oh, but his at is like, it might be Andre Baptiste or Andrew Baptiste. Sorry, I forgot. But maybe Andre. Anyway, Andrew. But anyway, it's called, his short is called Apple Magic. And I was thinking, oh, this is cute because I'm into gardening, and I don't garden yet, but I'm into it, and I like watching things about it. And when I started watching this short, he started talking about, oh, this is how I use my apples. Long story short, he puts apples into his pineapple bush, right? So that the ethylene can be released and help the pineapples ripen faster. But as I was watching him say this, I just got this vibe. I was like, oh, this guy's a master. He's a master gardener. And not because of what he was saying, because some gardeners out there will be like, duh, we know that. We know that if we want to make our fruits in our kitchen ripen faster, put it near some apples, right? But and he's taking it into the garden, but his vibe, I was like, oh, he's a master gardener. And the minute I said he's a master gardener, and I'm watching this video, he stands up or whatever he was doing from the pineapple bush, and he starts moving forward. And there in the soil was an M shaped twig, like some twigs, M, master M. So it was very quick. Now I know that that was like the third sign for me today. I can't remember the other two, sorry, that said, hey, Jay, it was like, yes, be mindful of your words. I see, thank you. And I've been watching my words today, just doing my best. Now, I brought Veronica in, God bless. She is a sweet little tulip, God bless her. Um, I'm bringing her in to give you guys another example. When I brought this tulip, I came home and I introduced her to Dottie. I know some of you are like, whatever, Jay, but as your resident energy reader, listen, we're out here, and trust me when I say introduce your plants. They are sentient conscious beings. So I started introducing them and like let their leaves touch each other. And I was like, hey, Dottie, this is this is, my tulip, and tulip, here's, Dottie. And then I was thinking, okay, well, what's your name? Because I like to let things tell me their name. And then I was going, what's your name? I'm gonna call you Tulip. It was one of those moments. And then I heard Veronica, and I was like, oh, clearly that wasn't me. I wouldn't have named my plant Dottie, by the way. I can't remember what name I had. Probably something like Planty or something very cute, but no. She was like, Dottie, get it right. Iettie. And then this one said Veronica. And I said, Veronica, that's a grown name right there. I didn't say it that way, but I was like, you are a grown, sexy woman plant with that name, Veronica. And I thought, you know what? Listen, that's what she wants. We're gonna go with it. Go with it. And then I turned around to go give her some water, And then as I turned around, my eyes just, where are eyes gonna go? I don't know. It just went down to the ground because I'm walking, and my hiking boots were there. And immediately my eye fell on the tag and it said V. And I was like, oh, there we go. Confirmation, right? So, long story short, narratively, and I'm so sorry, you guys, it's my Mercury in Pisces. We're all over the place, but it makes me an excellent reader. So come see me if you want the lowdown. Long story short, now is not the time to be beating the drum of your low self-worth and, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I don't believe in myself. And yes, we all have it. Your girl here with the moon in Taurus, literally the wounding around low self-worth. So trust me, I know. I just don't rant and rave about my problems, but if I'm bringing it to you, I know. I've been there. I'm likely still there, and we're getting through it together. This is the time to fake it till you make it. If you have nothing good to say about yourself, about your appearance, about what you have, about the people in your life, don't say anything at all. You just instead focus on what you would like. Now, my birthday's coming up, and yesterday, my spirit team, well, actually my grandmother, she's fast, but I also do mediumship, so where's the separation, right? So she's like, let's make a cake. And I was thinking, yeah. And then I started, because she was a master baker, by the way, master, like, and seamstress, so she was on her stuff. And so I was thinking, okay, that's nice, let's do it together. And turns out she was a mother and a stepmother in at least two lifetimes before, so we're out here. And I was thinking, oh, that'd be great. That it would be fun to enjoy my time with her. And, it's going to be time for me and my other grandmother. And we're all just going to bake this cake together with me, for me, using her recipes, by the way, on my birthday. And I never do anything for myself. I'm learning to be better about that. With my Cancer North Node, literally the North Node that says you need to love yourself and do good things for yourself and celebrate yourself. And there I was yesterday, like, oh no, I don't know, it's too expensive, it's a lot, and getting into my poverty consciousness, and I was stressed about it. Long story short, this morning I woke up and I decided, you know what, about this, I'm gonna do a thing, because it's just ridiculous, because I would be out here baking you a cake. That's just how I roll. I'm the person to call if you want to get picked up at the airport, even if it's 45 minutes, away. Call me, I'm there. But I don't do that for myself, right? And so I said, yes, let's do it. This morning, with that decision made, I was on a whole nother timeline. So much so that I saw things, like I said, um, thoughts manifesting right away. Now, the thought is from a higher aspect of me, and I've aligned with that higher self. And so I'm able, because your higher self conceives of it. You receive it. Boom, you're the receiver. And then you make the decision. Either I act on that loving, piece of advice, or I put my fears in. And I wasn't sure whether dropping so much money on baking a cake from scratch and icing it and all of that stuff is going to be me taking from my bank account, or if it's going to be me celebrating myself. And eventually I got into the decision where I'm like, I'm just going to do it. I love myself. Let's go. And it's been magical this whole day so far. Everybody was very kind to me. When I turned on the radio, all this music was coming in, and it was very, I love my 80s, but the songs that were playing were, imagine turning it on and getting a song like, was it does it make me a higher love or something like that? All those or celebrate, those kinds of songs were playing. People were patient on the road. When I got in, I got the nicest cashiers. All of the people there were just, so it was, even my coffee was good, right? And so what I'm trying to say is, now is not the time to make choices that are fear-based, because once we get into this solar eclipse, boom, it's off. The lunar eclipse that we just had, if you haven't seen my weekly written post, the lunar eclipse gave you a reflection of what you were vibing with. And I realized at that time, wow, I had a lot inside that was just not, it's not what I want to have continue. So over, like, the past few days and week or whatever, I've been really making every choice be as high vibe as possible. Even if I didn't want to go out and do whatever, I made sure I did it because the universe is taking those orders. You're positioning yourself. So if you saw one of the weekly posts that I did not too long ago, the analogy that came up was one of you being a cute little little ball on the pool table, and needing to get into alignment within yourself, get your coordinates straight, love yourself, all of that, because soon there would be like somebody coming in with the white ball, the scratch ball and the pool stick, boom, hitting you, and then you're off. Off where? Into the new life, the timeline, the level, the frequency level, all of that, you've been programming yourself to be. So if I had chosen, because of my fear, like, oh, I don't want to spend this money, or because it's a waste and da da da, I feel like that would have been me actually acting on my fear that I'm not good enough, because I know that if it were someone else's birthday, I would have said, oh, let me bake this cake for you, da, 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 spending however many $100, however much money for that person. When it comes to me, now I'm penny pinching, right? So be very mindful of what's going through your mind. Look at your actions, because it's immediate right now. And I believe the eclipse, is it on the solar eclipse? Sorry, I should remember. It's either on the 25th or the 26th, but we were already feeling that. So just be ready to shift more fully into whatever direction you are guiding yourself to. Okay. And some of you are already feeling that shift already. You've already started to notice the shift in vibration. Oh, one more. Here's another one. Today, before I left my house, I shielded up. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be bright. Ding! And I put on my lights. Lights on. You can just be whatever and be like, let there be light, and then see yourself with light. And then I put a shield of light around me, or shield, boom, boink, to keep out all external attack, danger, and harm, because I'm not trying to be about that vibration. Immediately, I left my house. There's my doors. I left my house, and we have this. He's really nice, but I'm afraid of dogs sometimes. But there's this big pit bull that lives here on the property too. And I kid you not, he cool, but I'm not, because I'm scared. But immediately, as I popped out from behind a wall, I saw him, and it was just him, and it was just me. And just as I walked out, before I could even pause and hit that reverse robot, he turned this way. He literally did not see me. And that's what I'm saying. When you guys shift your vibration, you're avoiding mofos because they're not your vibration. And I'm not saying he's a mofo. I'm saying that it would have scared me. And I said, I don't want to be about that today. And I put my shields up. And then what did I do? The minute I walked out, I got to go on my way, because the minute I walked out, he looked this way. And I saw him later on in the day when I came back. Not even, he looked at me, I looked at him, and he was like, so I was like, me? I was like, hi. I didn't say it that way. I was just like, oh, hey. And then I went my way, and I came back in from my car, and he wasn't even there anymore. So just so you know, shift your vibration, shift your physical reality, shift your beliefs and your mindset, and do your best to shift your mood, shift your vibration. And then that shifts what you receive. Because remember, what you believe is what you will have thoughts about, what you will have emotions about, what you will have gut reactions about. And then guess what? If you're not mindful to observe that, you're just going to have an action about it. And that's how you end up walking the path of your own fears. That's how you end up meeting friends who capitalize on your self-doubt, your self-denial, your fears. That's how you end up choosing a hair salon, or a supermarket, or even going right or left, because you're following the vibration and you don't realize it, that you're a vibrational match. So certain things will rise up to match you, right? That's how you end up marrying somebody who is a walking manifestation of your own self-doubt and your own lack of self-love, for example. And so that's why it's very important for you to get your ish together. And when I say you, I mean too. Because I can't tell you this unless it gets given to me. Anyway, so if you don't like what you see in your life, I don't know. I don't know what to say. And this is me coming from the depths of monstrosity. If I wrote a book, if I literally wrote a book about my life from birth to now, people would be like, how many deaths have you gone through? Ego deaths, everything. It's almost too much to write. And there's like, you go check my akashics if you want to, right? So when I tell you guys these things, just trust me with what I'm saying. Anyway, and if you don't trust, I'll let you girl. You can find me on Etsy any given day and we can help you out. So anyway, from me and Veronica and Dottie, God bless us, do your best. That's all we can do anyway. So do your best to keep your thoughts pretty, and not like I'm just gonna be a Pollyanna, lie to myself. No, stuff comes up because it will. You're on Earth. Earth is your school. You have your own special curriculum. We have two different curriculums, so we can share notes, right? But whatever comes up for you, look at it, love yourself through it, and keep it pushing. Oh, last thing, affirmation, confirmation. Make your affirmation, and if you say this is the case, anything that you see in your life physically from then on that is not in alignment with that, you don't even waste your time confirming it, believing in it. You see it, okay, let it fall away. And anything that you see, even just jump on it. Oh, that's an affirmation. That's a confirmation of what I affirmed. Focus on that. That's literally how you find your way out. Follow your joy and do your best. All right. Anyway, sorry that was so long-winded. My bad. If you're still here, thanks. Keep an eye out for the weekly post, which I'm going to write a little bit more excuse me, write shortly and post a little bit later today. Okay. God bless you. And if you'd like to work more closely with me, doing intuitive counseling or just whatever it is that fits your fancy, you know where to find me.